Here's how you make your first video. You hold your phone up like this, and you make sure you're looking into the lens, and you hit record, and you say, I am going to whoop your ass if all you think there is to this is just talking into a camera and just rambling and rambling. Unless, of course, you're Jack Black. Okay, that's your first video done. Play it back whenever you're thinking, today I'm just going to hit record and see what happens. Now, let's talk about your second video. First off, I'm not going to assume you've got all the same situation in terms of production kits. So here's 3 different options for making your first video. Choose one of these first, and then let's look at prep and presenting afterwards. Okay, number 1, the simplest option. This is the just vaguely interested or want to see what might happen if I film and upload a video of myself eating raw chili seeds option. Get a tripod or Gorilla Grip, film on your phone using natural light and upload to your account via import videos on the YT app or online. For a more structured setup, add a ring light for around £100. Okay, you can get a stand and then film through it using, I can't see anything, and then film through it to enable the ring light to do its job. Job done. Limitations, audio will suck. This is the I'm taking this seriously but I have a limited budget option. Buy the GoPro Max, the Fusion grip accessory and a tripod. For an all-in-one mic, camera and stabilization unit on the fly filming, this really can't be beaten. Plus, the short 360 clips that you can easily edit in your phone make for some funky B-roll. For studio filming, also get a tripod and a ring light with a light stand and film through the middle of the ring light. Limitations? There's no depth of field as everything is in focus, so the footage will lack that premium sort of feel. Number 3, hardcore. This is the this could be life or death and I'm frickin' loaded option. The more complex tools for the job, but the best overall quality are going to be to invest in an interchangeable lens camera like the Sony 6500 or A7 or a Canon DSLR like the 6D and use the kit lens with the lowest number on the side. Ideally the 50mm for filming on a tripod in a studio, but a wider lens to allow selfie filming on the fly out and about. Let's not get too involved with lenses other than that because it's a bit of a rabbit hole. For on-the-fly selfie filming, get the on-camera Rode Video Micro, but for studio work, get a solid shotgun like the Rode Inch G2 overhead and out of shot. For that, you'll need a C-stand, boom, and cradle. This is the NTG3, but it's the same principle. You still need lights, of course, and you could opt for the ring light, but a dedicated set of 3 interview lights will give you more options to sculpt light both in front and behind you. So if you're keen to get the best kit, I'd go for a 3-light interview pack like the Aperture HR6723 light stands. Now, for the rest of the tips for this second video, I'm going to assume you've chosen the type of setup and we're going to talk about some studio options because if you're contemplating these early videos, you're probably not going to be diving into a public vlog to start with. Get your script down on paper or on your laptop or tablet. For tips on writing a script, wait till the end where there's another video on scripting, especially on the shopper's pivot. You need to hook them right at the start. That's so important. Next, you are going to need a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Traffic or rail noise is distracting to an audience, so choose a space where this isn't a problem or at least minimize it by closing external windows and doors. Create a set for yourself and decide if it's best to sit or stand. We think standing is preferable for first videos as you tend to have more energy, but we batch a lot of our own ones sitting down, so it's really up to you. Brush your teeth and hair. Seriously, this isn't something you want to do looking like you've just rolled out of bed. This probably goes without saying, but anything that reduces your chances of putting your video out, like not being happy with the way your hair looks, needs to be eliminated. Next, assuming your studio isn't equipped with a backdrop, clean up the visual space that will be filmed, have a look at the frame you're going to be sitting or standing in and decide if anything in it is distracting. An open cupboard that frames your head inside a black square is going to look weird. Declutter, but leave some visual clues about the world you're in. If you rebuild vintage toys, maybe an old Tonka truck on the table next to you rather than a wall of parts and tools that pull the audience out of what you're talking about. At the same time, a blank white wall is going to look like a blank white wall rather than a white studio backdrop. So somewhere with some life in it. Bookcase, computer desk, lamp and memorabilia. Just try to get rid of the pizza box and the 3 empty bottles of Pinot Noir. Have a look behind the camera. You're going to need some furniture or some soft materials in there. What you want is anything except another blank wall, which will just bounce the sound back to you and cause that roomy sound you often hear. Sound needs to be broken up and absorbed wherever possible. In the frame, if you're just going to choose one locked off frame, I'd recommend a mid shot. That's half your body with your head roughly in line with the top third. This will allow for quite a large amount of range of movement without having you too small. Don't forget, 70% of YouTube watchers are watching it on a mobile device, so you want to be visible. If your camera is not a phone and you're not a photography expert, now is the time to make sure that the camera is set to automatic for everything. Or maybe you're familiar with the best semi-automatic settings. Either way, you want to be able to set and forget the camera. Next, put your notes just outside the frame so they can be easily reached, and chunk the information into easy to remember bits. Don't do too much in one go. Best to do less and do it with more energy than trying to remember lots of lines. If you'd prefer to do it all using a teleprompter, then use the app Prompt Smart Pro on your phone. Put it in selfie mode in settings and then turn on the video recording option, and the app will record while scrolling the text. It's a nifty little trick, but teleprompters can also make you look wooden. We'd recommend a teleprompter for the long term, but for now, just stick with remembering small chunks of information and delivering them deliberately with more energy than you think you should. We call this panto mode. Like you, but 120% version of you. There's lots of reasons why this works, but try not to overthink it. Record a first take of the chunk and then record another in panto mode, like you're presenting to kids, not Chris the Clown. I mean, an enthusiastic kids presenter. Remember, even kids won't accept phony enthusiasm. You've got to be quite bright and chipper and annoying to get their attention, like a busker. Hey kids, who wants to see a magic show? I can't hear you, etc. I mean, use your own script, not who wants to see a magic show, and then watch both clips. Surprised? The seemingly chipper and annoying version will seem more genuine due to the raised energy. It might still be a bit much, obviously, and you can dial it back a bit, but what you don't want is for that flat monotone that was probably your first take. So, complete each chunk with gusto and panache, and then edit in your preferred editing software. For those of you who haven't thought this far ahead, no problem. In the Mac universe, there's the free iMovie, and the PC, there's Shotcut, an open source platform which actually works just as well on Mac and PC. There's also a bunch of editing options for your smartphone, and KineMaster is my pick. The principles are the same. You need to cut all the tops and tails of your rushes, the raw files, and then cut really close to the beginning of each take using the sound waves to guide you. There should not be sounds of in-breaths that tend to happen before the beginning of each take, because when you jump cut them together, that's going to get repetitive. You might want to add some B-roll over the top of this to mask the cuts while at the same time aiding in meaning to what was being said. This could be photos or other video you've made or stock, maybe from free providers like Pixabay. This is accomplished by pulling footage into the timeline and stacking it on top of your A-roll.
Bring it back!
Otherwise, jump cuts are an acceptable part of the YouTube world, and audiences don't seem to mind it, but we're a bit old school, so we prefer masking the cuts or enlarging the frame size for each sequence. It's really not a deal breaker though. Now go! Make that second video, and the third, and the fourth, fifth.
But not the sixth!
No, stop there. If you'd like to see what we meant about the GoPro Max, you can watch the full review here. For more presenting tips, especially getting used to yourself on camera, watch this playlist here. And if we can squeeze in another one, there's a video here somewhere on scripting that I mentioned.
You can't put 3 on there!
Yes.
Hit subscribe.
And if you haven't joined our channel growing journey, why not subscribe to learn more about how to get started from zero, just like we did. For a more structured setup, use the